Hello there. This is part of the same coding session as before. Again, coding Sonata in a scrim against Cheese Factor. This time we go over the importance of the opening of the game and talk about which space is crucial to control. Okay, we give them a decent amount of space on opening. That's kind of like because we're scared into their comp, which we rightfully should be.
Yeah.
I think we can, like, as a team, open a bit more aggressively.
I don't know if you reviewed the B&D climb games, but like the only game when like we kind of won the first mid fight was like me charging up Reef and instantly Reefed on like RPD killing him, and then we won the fight. I don't know if you'd like. We should try to be aggressive, like maybe putting more pressure of trying to get a or like trying to get a pick on RPD.
Interesting. Did you farm Reef off base or like kind of around mid?
Kind of around mid, like we hold a bit of mid and like stack, and then I reefed on RPD and we like kind of wiped them.
On Barnacle, like, I really like that idea. That's a general thing. I'll get back to your question in a second. I just want to talk about like openings a bit more generally. Like, putting down pressure in the middle of the map is usually like worth a lot, especially on opening. Opening is basically the most important like period of the match. It like really decides where the game goes afterwards. And especially on maps like this, where the mid is like half a centimeter big, like half a square centimeter. Because we want to be correct about units, right? Trying to just like hold this space, everything left of this space, is like worth a lot. And giving up kind of this imaginary line is like really bad, basically. Because then like enemies get a lot more options to push. Like you can push around pillow, you have cover here, you have cover here, you have like decent amount of paint here for some reason. But like mostly the cover is important here. You like can push here where you're relatively unseen and where you have a decent amount of cover, especially like if there's no one on this kind of position, which on opening you should realistically be more aggressive. And like here you have a bit of cover as well. Basically what I'm trying to get at is like after people cross this line, they have a lot of options, and before they cross this line, they have to cross this line. And this line is very small, and you don't have a lot of options to cross this line. So this goes for a lot of maps. On Mahi, it's like very noticeable because the map is so small on opening, where we kind of want to hold relatively much space on opening by just like staying safe and painting that area. And that also means that like be a bit more like have a bit more courage on opening and just put yourself in a bit more aggressive positions if you know you can like survive them. Surviving is the most important part in neutral. I think I said this before. But like surviving if you don't hold any space, or if you like on opening don't like enforce any space, means that like you don't get any value out of being alive, or not as much as you could be if you like were holding a bit further up. So basically as a team I want us to hold a bit further and just move up generally a bit faster. That means two things. First is that like I want edit to move up a bit faster. You can do this by like instead of standing here and doing a full charge, you can just like move forward while taking a full charge. Like take the like spawn like into kind of this area, and then like do a full charge around here, and then just move immediately into mid. And then you should get cooler realistically like quite fast. If you don't take your sweet ass time like standing around here, and instead like use the time where you want to paint anyway to also move forward while painting. It's just like the idea of like doing two things at the same time. Of like, if you're painting, you also want to like keep track of something else at the same time, and in that case, it's just like positioning, because you want to be like in this kind of position relatively fast. I totally agree with this opening position. And the rest of the team just like kind of balling around these parts of the map. Usual openings will be like a long range weapon here, someone here, someone here. That's like usual openings for Mahi. And then you can like move up, move back, depending on how much space you have. For the reef opening, that's something that like naturally happens if you do this. If like you move up relatively fast and paint like relatively much in these kind of mid areas, you will just you will just get slider, like because your weapon gets slider really fucking fast. And then like playing around that slider before enemies can get specials is a really good idea. So I like that a lot, especially on like Barnacle, where pushing stack with slider is like really devastating. If your team moves up with it, that is. Okay. And we see like in this kind of opening, like where they are able on opening to like win the paint fight around here. They win the paint fight on zone, which means they get even more free paint on zone, because like you only have to paint 70% of it, and then you get all of this paint. And because like we aren't enforcing the space enough, they are able to take those aggressive angles, and they are able to like use their range, use their like stupid poke ability to like take a lot of space here.